Loki versus Emu. The destined fight for the throne of Elbaf is just about to begin. Story of One Piece. Welcome back to Animotion, guys, and today we'll be discussing the fight between Loki and Emu. Before we go into there, I would like to request every one of you watching to please consider liking, sharing and subscribing to our channel Animotion. And with that self-plugin out of the way, let's get back into the main fight analysis. There was a big hint given to us before even this whole flashback thing began that Loki was destined to fight Emu in Elbaf. And that was the exact moment when Loki told that he is going to be the destroyer of the whole world. And do you remember what Emu referred to himself as? Emu referred to himself as the world. So indirectly there was a little bit of connection made by Eiichiro Oda in a very sneaky manner to put in that foreshadowing of this fight. We still don't know the full extent of Loki's power, as we have seen just a sprinkle of what he could do, and you should keep in mind that he was really injured by Shamrock and Cerberus during the very beginning of the Elbaf arc. And speaking of the beginning of the whole Elbaf arc, there was a little warning dropped at the very beginning of this arc, and it was written by none other than the legendary writer in the story of One Piece, Louis Arnaud. Now this note of do not linger in Elbaf for too long could be a slight hint that the whole arc of Elbaf is not going to be as big as any other arc in One Piece, and it is going to be a short and action heavy arc compared to other arcs in One Piece. And before you all jump your guns, I would like to remind you that the whole arc till date was just a big old flashback, and the real punch fighting is about to begin in the current day of One Piece. Now we have seen a tiny bit of power from both Emu and Loki. While Emu could tank the strongest combined attack in the whole story of One Piece in God Valley, combining with the power of Saint Saturn's regeneration. And we have also seen Loki one-shot his father King Herald, who in the whole story of One Piece had one of the strongest conquerors haki, and he really didn't stand a chance after Loki took the devil fruit. The contestant, both Emu and Loki, are top tier, and it is going to be a magnificent fight. But how is the fight going to go? Is Emu going to win, or is Loki going to win? And what will be the consequences for the whole nation of Elbaf? Now a little bit of flashback or a little bit of history, that in the whole story of One Piece there was just one island, that was Marineford, where the Straw Hat, or Luffy in particular, had a huge loss, and that was the death of Ace due to the combined effort of Akainu and Blackbeard. Well, Akainu did the heavy lifting of killing him, while Blackbeard did the whole scheming or behind the background stuff. And if you guys are going to ask me, I would say that the island of Elbaf is going to have a similar fate to Marineford, and that is it is going to see a heavy consequence of the fight between Loki and Luffy versus Emu. And we are going to see a named character die. Yes, you heard me right. A named character is going to die in One Piece after like so many years. Now spoiler ahead, I don't think it is going to be someone from the Straw Hat crew, but rather a very important giant. You know, Dory and Broggy are on the chopping block for this one. Think of it this way, that Emu is going to be the final villain of One Piece, you know, if Blackbeard doesn't do any shenanigans and took the crown from him. But we're going to assume that Emu is going to be the top dog till the end in the whole story of One Piece. And Emu just losing here without doing any kind of impressive heavy lifting or impressive kind of work to make his resume look a bit decent. Otherwise his resume is going to look pretty bad. The story of Elbaf till date, aka the flashback of Rocks Back, we have seen highs from Emu as well as lows. We saw Emu tank the strongest combined attack, but we also saw him really scared after Loki took down Herald. Now besides Dory and Broggy, there is one more giant, that is Hajrudin, Loki's brother, who could die in this whole story of Elbaf, and to put even more narrative weight of why Loki should team up with Luffy in the final war. Now why of every giant Hajrudin should be the person to die? You might not like this idea, but Hajrudin have a bit of connection to the whole story of One Piece and to the fandom. You might hate him, you might love him, but his dreams, becoming the king of the giants and everything related to him being a part of the Grand Fleet, is a key point that we all should consider why Luffy is going to go against Emu. He till date has no reason to go against Emu, and if one of the member of the Grand Fleet dies, this will surely be a key turning point where Luffy is going to go against Emu, and it is also going to put more fuel to the fire of Loki hating the celestial dragons. And this key point is a very big reason why I think that Hajrudin might not survive the story of Elbaf. One more short thing, I would like everyone to know that both of the moves we have seen till date from Loki, both the lightning strike as well as the ice strike, is probably a power of Ratatoskr, aka Ragnir's main mythical devil fruit form from the Yggdrasil tree. That would be enough yapping for today. I hope you guys liked today's video, and if you did, be sure to hit that like button, share this video with your fellow friends and family members and anyone you like, and be sure to subscribe to our channel Any Emotion. With that being said, I'm out. Peace.